Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On album was released on August 28th, 1973, so 50 years ago last week. It's a milestone anniversary for a very important album, I would say, in music history and R&B history. It came out at a time where Motown artists like Marvin and Stevie Wonder were beginning to take more artistic control over their music, probably in large part due to the success of What's Going On from 2 years prior by Marvin, which he was very adamant about making. And initially that was not a popular, opinion, of Motown. But obviously once that album ended up being as successful as it was, it opened the door to their artistic and creative freedom and allowed an album like this one to be made. So all that being said, I love this album for several reasons. I feel like it is the natural progression of where Marvin was artistically and personally at the time. He had gone from making a spiritual and socially conscious album like What's Going On in 1971 to a soundtrack album, which I just adore, to the blaxploitation film Trouble Man in 1972, and then to this album, which is to me a combination of sensuality, vulnerability. There's love, there's romance, there's heartbreak, but is more romantically centered than his previous 70s work at this time. And I love it. I feel like Let's Get It On, the song, is just so iconic. This album cover itself is iconic, even like the way Marvin is dressed. That red beanie is synonymous with him even to this day. But when you just hear the very beginning of Let's Get It On, the song, you already know what song it is, and it's still used so much to this day in commercials, movies, TV shows. Just legendary, and like I said, instantly iconic, instantly recognizable. My favorite songs, though, overall on the album are Come Get to This, which I've posted a couple of times before. Most recently, I posted a Soul Train performance of it. I just love that song, primarily for the layered background vocals, but just everything about it. The melody, the lyrics, all of it. I love Please Stay. It's really one of Marvin's more beautiful ballads. I love the melody, which there's a lot of rich melody all throughout this album. It's a very melodic album. I also just love the instrumentation on it, and the way Marvin just glides over it, vocally. I love that song so much. Keep Getting It On, which is like a reprise of Let's Get It On. It's another favorite, as well as Distant Lover, of course. That's a Quiet Storm classic, and Just to Keep You Satisfied. Now, Just to Keep You Satisfied is actually one of my top favorites out of Marvin's entire catalog. I consider that song to be probably the most emotionally raw, vulnerable, open, and heartbreaking song ever recorded. I know I'm saying that's a mouthful, but I feel like it's one of the most, just emotionally raw vocal performances ever recorded by a male artist. Like, when you hear that song, you really feel what he's singing about. Again, if you just want to hear Marvin in this kind of romantic, emotionally vulnerable, sort of state, this is a great album to listen to. And one song I want to highlight before I wrap this up, too, is You Sure Love to Ball. Because, again, you're talking about natural progression of artistry, that song really gives you a peek into where he was going on his next studio album, which was 1976's I Want You. Those leanings and that brand of sensuality and vulnerability that's on You Sure Love the Ball is pretty much what he just kind of took and ran with on the I Want You album. So I consider that song to be a direct precursor to I Want You. So all of that being said, happy milestone 50th anniversary to this amazing album, Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On.